How are you coping? Living with your significant other 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Today, we are talking relationships. We are all spending so much more time with our significant others, and that can cause quite a lot of pressure, tension, and stress on a relationship, especially when it's coupled with so many other factors. When you're trying to raise kids together, maintain a home, you're still trying to work. You are having to deal with so many things, let alone maintain a solid relationship. So, how do you do that? How do you maintain a solid relationship and stop things from escalating when everything is so intense? I have 3 things that I'm going to share with you in what you can do with you and your partner in order to maintain a solid relationship and stop things from escalating. One thing I found quite therapeutic and healthy whilst working quite closely and living in quite close quarters with my husband is simply revisiting positive memories. Just like you, we had plans this year, we had holidays we wanted to go on, we had birthday parties and weddings, and everything has had to be cancelled, and that can be quite a bummer. But what I've quite found quite refreshing is we've been looking at our memories. So we've revisited positive memories, things that we've shared together, things that we are looking forward to as well, in order to keep the positivity and the energy going. So we've looked at holiday photographs, we've reminisced over our first date, our early stages of our relationship, we've been looking at pictures of when our girls were born. We've even managed to dig out our wedding DVD and our wedding outfits, which we managed to even try on just for fun. And you know what? Little things like that recreate a little spark. They remind you of the love that you've got for each other. They remind you of the journey that you've carried out together and what it all means and what today means in your relationship. So don't underestimate the positive element of revisiting memories in your life. Now, one important thing to maintain a solid relationship and to stop things from escalating especially is, if you said you're going to do something, make sure you do it. There is nothing worse than being in the house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you've got someone next to you saying, oh yeah, we'll do that, or we'll get this job done in the house, or we're going to do that in a minute, and it never getting done. Because not only are you putting yourself in a position where your partner can say, well, you said you were going to do that and you haven't done it yet, you are also being a person of your word. So to stop things in the house escalating, if you said you're going to do something, just do it, or just don't say it at all if you feel like you can't carry out that, because it's almost like a promise. And promises, in my books, shouldn't be broken because it is a promise. It's something that you've shared with that person and you need to uphold it. It creates trust and honesty. So if you said you're going to do something, make sure you do it. Point number 3. If your partner does something that bothers you, don't go in and blame straight away. Now, this might sound really, really daft because you're probably thinking, well, they've done something that bothers me, so why shouldn't I go in all guns blazing? Don't. Stop. These are very different circumstances and you need to reflect on your own behaviour as well. So if there's something that your partner's done that has upset you, don't go in all guns blazing. Really take a bit of time to reflect on, well, have you portrayed some of that behaviour as well? And did they come in all guns blazing for you, or did they just let it slide? And there are ways in which you can deal with it. Giving your partner a gentle nudge is absolutely fine, but don't blame them for doing something wrong. Okay? Everyone makes mistakes. If it is a repeated thing, then yeah, you've got every right to just say to them, look, this is bothering me, because if you hold it in as well, you're only going to cause a lot more tension in your relationship, and we are trying to avoid that, and you're also going to potentially escalate a minor little thing into a really, really big thing. So If your partner does something that bothers you, don't go in all guns blazing. Take a moment, reflect on your own behaviour as well, and talk it out. These are very difficult circumstances, and the last thing you need to do is to have your support network around you broken. So those are my 3 little tips to you on what has helped me and my husband throughout quarantine, but also what could potentially help you and your significant other in stopping things from escalating. But before I finish this video, I want to remind you, and I want you to sit there and give yourself a pat on the back, because there are so many things that you are doing right now without realising, which are underrated skills within a relationship. Now, these are things that we take for granted within a relationship, yet we all do on a day-to-day basis. And these are the littlest things that can cause so many issues, yet we don't even realise because they are underrated. And if you can manage these things, you are absolutely fine. Agreeing on what to eat. I am, as you've probably realised right now, I'm a people pleaser. So when I say I don't mind what we eat, I genuinely do not mind what we eat for dinner. Now, there's going to be so many guys out there that will ask their girl and they'll be like, oh, I don't mind, it's entirely up to you. And it genuinely is because we do not mind. Not because we can't make a decision, it is simply because we do not mind. But that is an underrated skill within a relationship. If you both can agree on what to eat, you've totally nailed it. Now, that is in particularly important while you're at home, because not only do you have to agree on what you're eating every night, every lunchtime, every evening, but you're also having to figure out who's going to make it, because you are both working, you might have kids at home, you're doing your own work and you're doing housework. So another thing you need to agree on is, well, who's actually cooking dinner tonight? And if you can agree on that, then again, you've nailed it. It's another underrated skill within a relationship. Sharing the duvet is another underrated skill within a relationship. People do not realise how difficult it is to share a bed with someone and share a duvet. We all sleep very differently. We all have very different sleeping habits and sleeping styles. That might sound really daft because you might think, well, we just go to bed and we sleep. We don't. We've got people who love to be under the duvet, people who like to be out of the duvet, people who like one leg out, one leg in, the duvet in between their knees. The pillow, is it quite a high pillow? Is it a low pillow? So you've got so many decisions that you need to make when it is just about sleeping. And that's just you. Your partner might be a completely different sleeper to you. So being able to share a bed and a duvet is another underrated skill within a relationship. Another skill in a relationship is starting a series together, but also finishing it together as well. Now, something that me and my husband are still working on right now is we will start a series together. I will get through the first episode, and he's very much a binge watcher. And I'm very much, well, if I'm tired, I'm going to go to sleep. So what happens is he will get through the whole series and I won't. So then he actually has to watch it all over again for me. And that is, again, another skill that some of you out there might have mastered. But we are still working on that because, like I said, we are very two different series watchers. He is a binge. I'm going to watch it a little bit at a time, so that then I'm not tired whilst I'm watching it, because I really like to concentrate on what I'm actually watching so I can really absorb what it is and take it in. So another underestimated and underrated skill within a relationship is not only starting a series, but also finishing it off together as well. Now, this last one is actually quite funny and is very relatable for me and my husband. So, hearing each other eat without getting irritated. Now, we don't get irritated with each other, and I'm sure many of you don't get irritated with your partner's eating habits. However, there are moments where one of us could be eating during a quiet moment or a quiet movie, or we're in bed and all you can hear is crunch, crunch, crunch. Now, most of the time I'm going to put my hands up, it is me. So my husband will be trying to get some work done and he's really in the zone and he's really focused, and I'm there, crunch, 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 mainly eating ice cream. Now you might think, how can you make noise with ice cream? I kid you not, when I eat a cornetto, and there are other ice creams out there as well, but when I eat a cornetto, the actual cone itself is so noisy. And I kid you not, it is the loudest thing ever. So another skill that is totally underestimated is being able to hear your partner eat without getting irritated. So not only do you have tips in order to maintain a solid relationship and to stop things from escalating, you've also been given a few areas of underrated skills in which you need to give yourself a pat on the back, because relationships are not easy and they do not happen by luck. And there are certain skills, certain techniques, certain things that you can do in order to maintain a solid relationship and to keep it strong. You just need to know what they are and how to implement them. If you liked this video, then you may also enjoy another video of mine, which is surviving and thriving within a relationship. And I go through tips, tricks, and techniques in which you can ensure you maintain a thriving relationship. I appreciate you joining me on this video, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take care.